Hey guys, how's it going? It's Calvin Raab. So in real estate investing, there is kind of this myth that is out there that if you want to invest in real estate, you need a lot of money. If I want to buy that apartment building, I got to have at least enough money for that down payment. I got to have cash to buy this particular building. And that is an excuse that a lot of people use to never get involved in real estate investing because they just say, oh, I don't have the money right now. And they constantly just kick the can down the street and they never really get started. So in this video, I'm breaking that myth. And I'm doing that by going over 8 different ways that you can buy a property for $0, meaning you can get into this property, you can own it for $0. So let's get into it. These are amazing ways and ways that a lot of people don't really know about that you can get into real estate investing. So hopefully this might help you get that next deal of yours a little bit quicker because you don't need all that capital. So let's jump into it. And if you're new here, my name's Calvin Raab. I make videos all about personal finance, so if you're interested in anything like that, I would love it if you would subscribe. The first way you can buy a property for $0 is through owner financing. So generally, if you're wanting to buy a property or an investment property, you go to the bank, you get a loan, and you generally would put something like 20% down. However, owner financing allows you to go around the bank, and rather than opening up a loan with the bank, you can open up a loan with the owner of this property. And you can come to an agreement that says, okay, and you don't have to give me a down payment, just start paying me every single month. And maybe you have to do something in return, like, okay, I won't pay you this down payment, but I'll bump the price of the property up a little bit. And the cool thing is when you're talking to an owner, you can get much better terms because you can really negotiate every little part. Whereas banks and credit unions, when they're working with your loan, oftentimes they work with pretty strict rules and they know what they can and can't give you. Whereas when you're working with an owner, everything is really negotiable, from amount of time to purchase price to even the interest rate that you're going to get. So you can just come up with an agreement where you don't have to pay a down payment. You can just start paying that monthly amount. Usually you'd probably have to bump the price or something like that. But altogether, owner financing is a way that you can get into a property for $0. The second way that you can buy a property for $0 is through the BRRRR method. Now, the BRRRR method, if you don't know about it, personally, I think it is one of the best ways to invest in real estate and grow your wealth. I made a whole video about the BRRRR method that kind of goes in a little more detail about it. But I also want to say that this one may or may not belong on this list. It might be a little controversial because you will need money to pay for that property to begin with. However, in the very end, through the BRRRR method, you actually pull your money back out via a refinance because it's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, and you are pulling out that money. So in the end, you have $0 of your own money in it, and that's why I added it to this list. However, I do understand that you need money to buy the property originally. Now, if you have questions about, all right, what are you talking about, BRRRR? That seems really weird. How are you pulling your money out? I recommend just checking out that one video I made about BRRRR because it's a little bit too long of a detail to go into in this video. So I recommend checking that one out, but because you can pull your money back out and start where you kind of began with no money in the deal, that's why I added to this list. The third way that you can buy a property for $0 of your own money is by finding a partner. So maybe you don't have the money, well then find someone who does. And then you have to think, all right, why would someone just want to give me money to invest? Well, they would want to invest with you. Maybe you have a great deal. So maybe if you have a great deal, you can usually find the money somehow. There are people out there who have money that they want to invest in real estate, however, they may not have the deal. And you guys can come up with kind of an agreement that says like, hey, I have this great deal. I can put in all this work. I'll make sure everything is properly managed. You have to do nothing. You just give me the money. And then you can come up with, negotiate, maybe it's an equity split, 50-50. They give you the money, you do everything else, and you split equity 50-50. But there's a bunch of different things that you can do there. This whole one is all about, if you don't have the money, find someone who does. People are out there with money trying to figure out ways that they can get that money to start working for them, and you can give them that opportunity. So don't think of it like you're taking someone's money. Think of it like this is a win-win situation for both of us. I am getting into a property. I'm having some equity in a property with $0, and I'm letting you make some more money on your money. The fourth way that you can buy a property for $0 is through 100% financing. So this is when you get a loan that has no down payment, meaning you are taking a loan out on the entire price and you don't have any equity in the deal to begin with. Now, this is fairly rare, and I think most big banks, I've never seen this from big banks. The only times I've ever heard of 100% financing was usually at really small credit unions, small banks, and generally when the investor had some relationship with that bank just to establish, like, you can trust me with this deal. Now, just because they're pretty rare to find, you can usually find still very low down payment amounts. You know, there's things like the FHA loan, which requires 3.5% down. I believe the VA loan actually has that whole loan process. There is 100% financing available for you, and there's multiple different ways. I believe Wells Fargo has a way that you can put down around 5%, and if you take this one class or something, you don't have to pay mortgage insurance or anything. So look into the different opportunities that are out there, although 100% financing is a way you can get in for $0, although it is fairly rare. Number 5, and this one is very close to that partner, and this one is a private lender. So the only real difference here between that partner and the lender here you're just acting like you're treating the lender like a bank. You know, you will take the loan out from them and you will pay them an interest rate. Whereas the partner, they're more getting involved in the deal, you're splitting equity, and it's gonna be a long partnership as you guys each own this property. However, a private lender is someone that you would find, generally someone who's a little more affluent, has money, and they're willing to give you the loan. And with a private lender, you can kind of negotiate terms a little bit more. So that way you can kind of negotiate a $0 or just a $0 down payment so you can get in and fully finance the whole thing. A private lender would be much more willing to do it because you can really negotiate the whole things, and a private lender isn't as tied down to different rules as a bank may be. So if you know someone like that, they can become a private lender. There are different rules, different things like that when people are lending money, but this is an option, is private lending. The 6th way to buy a property for $0 is through hard money lending. So hard money, and it's kind of the opposite of private money. You know, hard money is generally companies. There are hard money companies, and this is great for a few people, although not usually for most. Hard money is a loan that you get, and usually it has a couple things. First, it is very short kind of amortization table. Oftentimes it becomes due in around 6 months to a year, very small timetable. And secondly, very high interest rate. You know, it can be something around like 10, 12% interest rate. So now you're probably thinking like, why on earth would anyone do that then? Well, if you need money quickly and you know you're gonna pay it back quickly, so something like the BRRRR strategy this could work for. You know, when you need the money quickly, but you know you're gonna pay it off quickly, then this may be something that you wanna pursue. However, if you find that you can't pay it off and you end up holding it a little longer, well, those interest rates can really get you because they're high. So hard money loans may be something you want to look at. Maybe not the first thing you want to look at just because there's a lot of oftentimes points and fees involved along with high interest rates, but they can be helpful if you really need cash quickly. Number 7 is trade something else. So it's important to realize that, you know, money may not be what this person in the end wants. And by this person, I mean the owner of this particular property that you're trying to buy. You know, maybe you can trade something like, what would be of equal value? You know, maybe a particular boat or a car or some service that you are very good at, whether it's has something maybe like, I don't know, painting or anything like that. You know, maybe one thing won't pay it, but if you say like, all right, maybe a boat and a car and painting or something, I don't know why I came up with painting, but that's what popped in my head. And all those together, then you can maybe trade the house or something like that, or you can use it as a negotiation tool. You know, hey, I have this car, I can give you that if you lower the price down here. However, this is all about $0 in, so this would be a clean trade where then you don't have to pay anything down. So it's important to remember that know your seller's motives. You know, maybe money isn't what they're going for. Maybe they want something else. And you can kind of think of that and use that and see if there's any way that you can get in there with no money and just trade something else. Number 8 is a HELOC or cash out refinance. Now, these two are doing the same thing, although they're doing it somewhat differently. So what they're doing is, if you have a property, suppose you have a property, you've paid it off, well, there's a whole bunch of money sitting there in equity. And what this is doing is it's allowing you to take that money out. So a HELOC is allowing you to take a line of credit from a bank, whereas the collateral that you have or that are involved in the deal is the house. So you're opening up a lien on the house and banks can then foreclose on you. So you're opening up a line of credit based on the equity you have in your house. However, cash out refinance is slightly different in that you are just opening a new loan, a new mortgage, and what you would do is, all right, this is the amount of the house, take out whatever loan to value is, maybe 80%, take that out in the form of a loan. If you still have your first mortgage on there, generally what people do is pay off that first mortgage, so you only have one mortgage on there. But these are all ways that you can, if you have $0, however, you have equity sitting somewhere, you can turn that into money and then buy a property. So I understand, like, you may be arguing saying, that doesn't really fit on the list because you're still buying a property or investment property with money. But the reason I added is because it's not cash out of pocket. You're turning your equity into money. So nothing's really leaving your bank account. All it is just equity from your house is moving into purchasing another property. So that's why I added it, although I understand this one is pretty debatable because you're still buying it with money. All right, so that will wrap it up. Those are 8 different ways that you can buy a property for $0. And I think this is something that not enough people know about. There are people saving so much money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, working their tail off, being as frugal as possible to pay for that down payment or trying to buy that property, when in reality, if they knew about some of these ways, they may have been able to buy it a long time ago. So these are important to know about. Now, there's many more than this. If you know of any other ways that you can buy a property for $0, I would love it if you would let me know in the comments below. I am interested in this, and I'm sure the people watching this video are also interested in it. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation about this because this is a pretty cool thing. You're able to buy oftentimes a cash flowing property for $0. And this is kind of how we can go about it. And just let me know down there. Let's just talk about it. I always enjoy talking to you guys in the comments below. But that will wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Calvin Raab, and here I make videos all about personal finance and real estate and everything like that. So if you're interested in that at all, I would love it if you would subscribe. When you do, you will find new videos here. Multiple videos every single week. Right now I'm posting every Monday and Friday and a few occasional Wednesdays, so look out for those. But that will wrap it up. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm gonna move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are gonna see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're gonna see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Calvin Raab, and I'll see you soon.